It's time for the Psychic News Network. We're here to go over the news. Let me get some things together here, like plugging in my microphone. All right, it's May 19th, 2025. Yes, it's May 19th. Let me move my reminder to send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Why not? Good vibes. How's everyone doing? I did not get your email, Rose. I've been busy. What'd you say? Anything you can ask me right now? I'll check. I'm overwhelmed with news once again. Sent a list of email addresses to major networks. Okay, what I'll do is I'll copy and paste it to the post page, which I call the our community page. I feel like I'm drowning in really bad news and stuff, you know, like, but, and I know that that's kind of like, it's all bad, right? So what I want to read on tonight is, are we going to get a break? And what I mean by that is, are we going to get some sign that something good is going to happen? We're going to look for it. We're going to search for it. Hey, Mary. We're going to search through it like a needle in a haystack. We're going to look for, are we going to have any good news about this country? We need a ray of light, right? We definitely do. Little Flower said, I believe President Biden will be okay and live to 100. If he wants to. Yeah, me and Shelly at Healing Truth Tarot, we did a video earlier. PNN is very good news. Oh, Warren. You just won me over. Thank you. I did Off the Ledge this morning, and I did the show with Shelly from Healing Truth Tarot. That was fun. And I might do a lot more collaborations because I find them really engaging and interesting. It's good to have conversations. So there's that. Maybe Kathy Beale next week. So then I did a PNN pop-up, and now here we are. Because it's Monday. I don't know what's going on in mainstream media. Yeah, it was fun. I don't know what's going on with mainstream media, so if anybody's taken a peek lately, Warren, I aim to please. You're welcome. Has anybody watched mainstream media lately? I'm just wondering if they have continued to bash Biden. Hey, Michael. Does anybody know? Also, can you see my angel? Because I have a smaller view. Nobody's watching mainstream media. That's interesting. Okay. Rose is saying yes. Okay. It's unanimous. Most people aren't watching mainstream media. I do name my favorites, though. I like Rachel Maddow when she doesn't fearmonger too much. Earlier in my pop-up PNN, I mentioned that I went over to the library. I was looking for a book on World War II, but they have slim pickings right now because they've had to consolidate and just have a few books until they open up the new library, brand new, renovated in the summer. So Small Acts of Courage by Ali Velshi, A Legacy of Endurance in the Fight for Democracy. I'll start reading it and let you know what I think. Nicole Wallace had... Oh, we want to look at Jim Comey's, that whole thing. And by the way, look forward to me doing the same thing. don't expect you to watch mainstream media, Dale. I'm just wondering if anybody can give us, you know, the lowdown on whether they're continuing to bash Biden. Good job. Rose got her copy of Science of Mind yesterday. Enjoy it. It's a wonderful spiritual tool. I'm just straightening out my Nefarious cards. So earlier on my PNN pop-up, I read a little bit on Putin and what's going on there. And what I saw was word salad, word salad, word salad, word salad. And I always remember what Alexei Navalny said about Putin. He never stops lying. My book should be delivered today. I don't know which one. Okay, thanks. Thanks for sending me a book. I don't know what it is. I guess I'll be surprised. Yeah, can you see the whole angel? Because I can't. It's cut off from my view. All right. So actually, before I go to the Nefarious cards, which I'm straightening, I always read the cards straightened out. It's raining in Maine. Yeah, the rain's coming back. I'm going to pull 3 cards about, are we going to catch a break? Now, the thing that just popped up is a Hierophant. So what's that? That's telling me, the question being, are we going to get a break? Are we going to get any good news? And the Hierophant is mentioning something about the Constitution. And interestingly enough, I put Warren sent me that a while ago. I love the Constitution. Underneath my little gnome. The Smurf is hiding. We want to know if we're going to get a break from all the bad news. We need something to, you know, just kind of give us some energy. All right. 3 cards about that. Any good news come? Yeah, please, Lord, give us a break. We need to start, like, yeah, you need a straw to clutch at. We need to start really praying for something good to happen. I mean, it's just like bum, but I'm pummeled. And, you know, I hate to say it, but we have no idea how it feels to be a Ukrainian, but, you know, times a million. So, you know, we're all connected. Okay. Yes, prayers for the greatest former president ever. Angela feels like something's going to give soon and all hell's going to break loose. Okay. Darren's looking for rain in Appalachia. I wish I could send you ours. It just keeps raining. All right. Are we going to get a break? Are we going to get some good news at some point? Yeah, there's all these killer tornadoes and everything. The Ace of Wands says yes. The King of Pentacles, this feels like a takedown of somebody with a lot of money. That's going to make us feel good. So maybe Elon's being sued or something. I know that's not enough, but the guides are saying we have to find the good news in between the bad. Well, that's not very helpful. No, it actually is. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Went to an interfaith prayer vigil for immigrants in New York City tonight. Good, good. I mean, I just heard that special protection status for 350,000 Venezuelans is being taken away. This hatred for human beings has got to stop. This disdain for fellow human beings have got to stop. Elon and all the rich people, they never passed the great NWI? I don't know what that means. Huh. Okay. Yes, please hit the thumbs up while you're here. When we have 200 thumbs up, we'll do a group hug. But we need 200 people in the house first. Let's read on Joe Biden, on how he's doing. And, you know, in light of all the not good news. How's he doing? Thank you for being here. Yeah, Darren, absolutely correct. Global climate change is a real thing. Thanks, Zircon. How's Joe Biden doing? Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. He's being optimistic. He's being optimistic. He really is. I feel like Joe Biden, this is like Jill Biden, and I really feel like the other is Kamala Harris. I feel like Queen of Wands is Jill Biden. I feel like Queen of Swords is Kamala Harris. He's got some strong women by his side. Plus, he's got the spirit of his deceased wife and daughter and beau. But as far as women, how Joe Biden's doing, Eight of Pentacles, I feel like Joe Biden is appealing to his faith, to the higher power. Sun is getting very active too, which can affect many things down here on Earth. Yes, I was talking about that earlier. About the car that went right into the harbor here. And then today there was a woman in very bad shape, passed out. I thought she was dead. I mean, it's been a little crazy. As far as Joe Biden goes, I mean, it's just weird. It's No, I didn't say Dr. Biden died. No, I was talking about the energy being weird. No, the opposite, Amanda. I feel like Joe Biden is actually in his in faith mode and working hard to make sure that he can, to the best of his ability, turn this around and go into remission. Yeah, I know. People are telling me, I'm just talking about YouTube hiding me. It's such a drag. Please look for me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Please search for me. I'm sorry that you have to do that, but I appreciate it. Oh, I said the help of his deceased wife, Amanda, because he lost his first wife in a really bad car accident when he was about, I think he was only like 30. Right? You knew that, right? Hey, Kalani. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. People are telling me it's hard to find me, but Kalani found me. Okay. So Biden's he's gonna give it the old, 1-2 punch. He's gonna do the best that he can. He's gonna do the best that he can. And with us all sending him vibes, I think it's gonna be, I think we're gonna have him, I think we might have Biden through the year, but I don't predict when people are going to die. Yes, he has no fear of going to heaven. I think that that's really absolutely true. I think Joe Biden does not fear death. Because he has a strong faith. And people that have really, really, really strong faith, they don't fear death. I don't. I mean, I'd miss you guys. Anyway. Lots of love being sent. Yeah. We can use this as an experiment. Love heals. Okay, so I have the kind of positive cards, so I'm going to pull 3 cards about the Pope. Warren, I'm not leaving. Don't worry. I have way much more work to do. Let's see. We got this, right? Let's read on Pope Leo. Actually, let me give it a reference point. Let's read on Pope Leo, and just to get any hints about what he's doing, what he's thinking about. I know he's praying for the United States, his home country. Remember, when all the years that the Vatican didn't pick an American pope, it was because America was powerful enough. But now we're not. I shouldn't be laughing about it. Hello, Elizabeth. So the Pope is very, this is the second time I got this card about the Pope. Very, very, very clear about where he stands with what's going on in America. Amanda, we're up to 102 thumbs up. Yeah, very, very clear. Not really sure what to do about America, though, but just very, very clear about where he stands with the whole, take care of your brothers and sisters thing. And then it's like, okay, he's trying to decide how much. I feel like the Pope is trying to decide how much and when he wants to say things. Page of Pentacles, it feels like he's, this is interesting. Yes, the Pope is praying for America fervently. The Page of Pentacles indicates, I feel like what the Pope is thinking about is how to create a good community, like loving community in America. Welcome, Maria Marino. Glad you're here, Marla Marino. Thanks for joining. The Magician and the Page of Pentacles. I feel like the Pope is really one of the things that's top of the list for him is to work with the young people in America. Because it's going to be it'll be their world. Yes, we're not going to be here forever. It's a night to reflect on our mortality. The Ace of Swords. So he's not really clear about when he's going to really start saying things and working on building communities of, especially the younger generations, to be kind and caring. But that is on his mind. It is on his mind big time. That the younger generation needs to be led. So actually, yeah, thanks for your donation, Rhonda. I think Pope Leo is very forward-thinking. You think JD should be excommunicated for human rights violations? Let's ask. Is this dumpy administration going to be held accountable for crimes against humanity? Yes, but I'm talking about on the world stage. Wow. Will Dumpy be removed? Will Dumpy be removed? It's kind of going like this. Okay, so be removed is probably not going to give me a very straight answer. Okay. Will Dumpy choose to step down? What the heck? We'll just ask. No, he will not choose to step down. You should have seen him in the Rose Garden today. He has not addressed the storms with fatalities. Like, I think it's over 60 people. Do I have that right? He's not addressed anything that goes on with the American people. And so there were these horrifying storms over the weekend. People died, and now, see, they're starting to find out what they had with FEMA. FEMA will not be helping, not because people don't want to help, not because we don't have enough people that are qualified and capable. It's because Elon got in there and created this fake department called Doge and cut FEMA and cut the FAA and cut the FDA and cut the EPA and cut the Forest Service, cut everything. Yeah, Kentucky got hit really badly. Now, it's not like the weather's going to get better and we won't have to worry, we won't need FEMA. But when I saw Dumpy in the Rose Garden today talking about, I don't even know, what was he talking about today? He's never addressing what's going on. And when I see him, I see he's in a different, how can I describe it? It's like we don't exist to him. Yeah, hurricane season starts on the 1st of June. Yeah, we see evil, right? But also I really perceive that we don't exist to him. He's like the it's worse than this, but he's like the highly negligent parent. And neglect is a form of abuse. It's a most insidious form of abuse. But he is behaving as if he's not even aware of the United States of America. Not even aware of the soldiers that we lost in various accidents. And worse. And people voted for this. He's acting the exact same way as he did when COVID hit and he was in charge, yes. And when a reporter asked him during that time, do you take any responsibility for all the deaths? He said, no, I don't take, nope, not at all. He's in his own narcissistic bubble. Yeah, it's deliberate ignoring. It is the worst kind of abuse. Imagine, and hopefully none of you had a parent like this. I know relatives that were like this, but anyway, it's like, imagine having a parent who was supposed to look after you and care for you, but when you walked into the room, they pretended you weren't there. They treated you like a ghost, like you were invisible. It is the worst kind of abuse. It's exactly what I'm feeling from him. And I wonder, it's not even denial, it's deliberately pretending we're not here. That's what I psychically pick up. Deliberately pretending we're not here. Is he? Yes. Deliberately pretending we're not here. Pretending the people, yeah, very strong yes. Now, deliberately, what I mean by that is it's conscious. I'm going to ignore their pain, and that will make them notice me more, that they're suffering, and they want me. They want me, right? So I'm addressing the energy of Dumpy as he's out in the Rose Garden. What was he talking about in the Rose Garden? He was talking about, I think, pretending he got something out of the meeting with Putin. I have to go back and look. That's how much it sinks in what he's talking about. But he derives pleasure from knowing that he's inflicting pain by pretending that the American people who are suffering don't exist. It gives him pleasure. And you should see him in that Rose Garden today. Like, this thing. He does a Mussolini thing. The Mussolini thing. If you ever see old video of Mussolini, it's like, just like that. Juts his chin up. The same exact thing. Can't believe people would fight me on that. He was Mussolini in his past life. It's so obvious to me. Anyway, I'm just being a psychic. Let's grab some more cards. Let's grab the stained glass cards. These are fun. Don't they call that plausible deniability? I don't know. I don't know what I'm describing. I didn't know there was a term for it. There might be a psychological term for it. He has a black hole for a heart. Well, you know what? He had a black eye the other day, too. He had a black eye in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Yes, Trump knows that the election was... Trump knows that the election got rigged for him. 666. Let's ask the pendulum, are we ever going to find that out as a fact? I mean, it is a fact, but we need to have the receipts to show. Will it be found out that Dumpy cheated in the election? Yes. Yeah. Nobody knows those voting computers better than Elon, said he. Strong yes. Very strong yes. See, what's happening right now is the American people as a whole are starting to all want him gone. It's true. It's true what the guides told me. After Kamala didn't win, I just want to kind of rewind a little bit. This is what I got. Like, bear with me. On November 6th, when we woke up to realize that we had been attacked by Russia because the most incompetent criminal, many, many, many times over, was claiming that he won over Kamala Harris. At that time, if Kamala Harris had won, they were promising a bloody civil war. No, he didn't win. It's very clear that he didn't win. I've never, ever, ever, for a second, thought that he won. None of us, most Americans, don't really think he won. I think that's accurate. And I'm telling you this because it's like to fill in the gaps, like in terms of why we're going through this. I know it's horrendous. But we need the entire population, give or take a few, to want him out. And when he goes, then all his little flying monkeys go with him. So let's see, will we see that happen? I'm getting a yes. So this is consistent. Yes, we're living it. All the people that would have rioted if Kamala had won, all the people that would have been, you cheated, all that we went through for 4 whole years and then some, all those people would have done the same thing that they did when Joe Biden won, and worse. And because she didn't, according to them, she didn't win. Now we're in a learning experience. But it's not for us to learn because we already knew. We already knew what a nightmare this would be, and now we're living the nightmare. But of their own volition now, all the people that were MAGA, through their own volition, will be saying that they don't want this either. Yep. And that's where we need to go. And that is where we're going. So as far as Biden's diagnosis, that's actually even more people are going to hate Dumpy. Even more people. Because I have never met a person whose life hasn't been touched by cancer. Either personally or cancer that a loved one was going through. And it is devastatingly heartbreaking. And that Dumpy is picking on Biden still, and that the media is picking on Biden still, makes people be royally turned off by Dumpy if they weren't before, and royally turned off by mainstream media. Royally. And that's where we need to go. So we have to keep our faith and hang in there while we go through this bumpy ride. Very bumpy ride. Please hit the thumbs up. We can't do a group hug until we have 200 thumbs up. Biden increased cancer research. Biden did a lot. Look it up. Look up the Biden achievements if you want your blood to boil. Don Jr. made fun of Biden's wife, Dr. Jill. Right? Am I right? Can I get a witness? Like, don't you all agree that it's not going to go over well? It's going to be like so abhorrent. There are no words. There are no words. I mean, I just can't even imagine knowing a person like that. Oh, you have terminal cancer really bad and you could die in a few months. Oh, well, you know, you're an idiot. I mean, what? Jeez, yeah, I know there's a lot of cancer survivors in this room, right, in this chat. Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 cards about how that's going to go. Like, how it's going to go for America. Elizabeth is saying, I'm angrier now than before. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Follow the thread. The divine is working. Through the difficulty, the divine is working. Now, another way that the divine is working, because I'm always going to bring you back to that. The intelligence that runs all this. And I just think it bears repeating. Dumpy, the orange trash, is so revoltingly horrible to the entire world. Can you imagine having the entire world hate you? Except for the people that have no conscience and have black hearts and are infected with evil. The world is waking up from America's mistake, from our big mistake. The world is waking up to, like, we can't even get remotely close to anybody who likes Trump. We can't. And other countries have looked to America for decades and decades and decades. So some of them looked to America and went, oh, I'm going to run for president or prime minister or chancellor, and I'm going to be just like Dumpy. Well, I think that it could have worked if Dumpy wasn't so horrible starting this year. Thank you, Glenna, for saying that. Yeah. Canada doesn't hate us. We were sad the other night that somebody said, I'm never coming to America for the rest of my life as long as I live. I think I might have scared her away. So what I'm reading on, I think this is what I'm reading on. I get on my little rants. You're going to be just like Biden? So, Michael, keep the vibration up. Please. So I'm reading on how this is going to affect the country. 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. We're going to really think about the pain as a collective America. We're going to really think about the pain that Dumpy has put us through. The pain the mainstream media and Dumpy have put Joe Biden through. We're going to really be thinking about it. Yeah, I think it's all going to backfire too. Yep. Everyone has a family member or friend. Just like when they were picking on Hunter Biden. Everybody knows somebody that's a bad addict or knows of somebody that's a terrible addict. The 10 of Pentacles. So we're looking at, this diagnosis and the effect on the collective. The 4 of Swords. It's going to be hard. It's going to get really people thinking about sickness and how hard that is. It's not going to be an easy thing. But the 10 of Pentacles looks like the American people will see the importance of cancer research and science. And this administration, if you can call it that, I can't call it this. This fascist regime is taking away our standing in the world on the best universities and hospitals and clinics and studies and research and all that. Jen, thanks. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Let's read on the war in Ukraine. What's been happening is that every time that Dumpy and Putin have a conversation, Putin bombs Ukraine. So that's not working too good, is it? You're surprised the doctors did not find the cancer sooner while he was president? Why does that matter? The only reason I'm saying that, why does it matter, is because the mainstream media has been acting like that's a crime. It's despicable. They're acting like, the mainstream media is acting like that Joe Biden just found out he has terminal cancer. They're acting like he should be punished for that. And they're acting like they just can't possibly trust him, that he didn't know when he was in the White House. I'm actually going to pull cards on that. MSM can go to hell. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If somebody here can give me no, it does not. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter when he found out in terms of how people should view it. Victim shaming. Thank you. 2 words. And mainstream media actually conjures up just really makes up this thing oh, they literally make up how they can make it sound like a crime. You read in the chat yesterday that it's not routine to screen for prostate after a certain age. Why is that relevant? How is that relevant? I don't understand. So, yeah, Don Lemon, I don't like him. I tried, and I think he got brainwashed by working for CNN. CNN's throwing out conspiracy theories. Why are we not just in a place as a nation where we're saying, whatever happened to Joe Biden, whatever is going on with his health and his health records, that's private. Why are we not there? That's private, right? And I'm just doing kind of a gut check with everybody here. John F. Kennedy had major health problems and was an excellent president until he got assassinated. Unfortunately, too young, too early in his term. FDR was in a wheelchair and he had polio, right? I'm just doing a gut check. Yeah. Because we have a poor sense of privacy and boundaries. And what's happened in our country is that with so many people butting in, remember Tim Waltz? Mind your own damn business. FDR had polio, and nobody looked at their health as something that was something to be ashamed of. I know I'm going on about this, but it's for good reason from my perspective. We all know Dumpy is not well. Okay, we're gonna read on that right now. Yeah, they're distracting. Actually, what I'm gonna read on, we've seen pictures of Dumpy, right? He's a mess. What we're going to read on is whether mainstream media is going to stop it. No, it doesn't make any sense that people are behaving in this way. It's like we've lost the plot of how to be human beings. I mean, just in a general sense. It's like humanity, the population of the United States, it's like so many have lost the plot of what it is to be decent, to be kind. Is mainstream media just going to keep piling it on? Yeah. Yeah. Of course they're being paid to distract us from what's going on with Trump. Of course. It doesn't take a psychic, Electra Storm. Yogi Bear saying, breaking news, Trump had a 5-pound Big Mac baby more at 11. We miss Thomas. They're going to keep laying it on. Okay, let's see how it's... Yeah, let's start a big boycott. I'll start it. Let's start a big boycott of mainstream media. I already wrote a scathing feedback to CNN. Let's get on it, okay? Yeah, how come they don't write about the Orange Man's mental acuity? Because they're the billionaires. They're the oligarchs. They're robbing us blind. And speaking of that, this big, beautiful bill, this big, beautiful, unbelievable... I saw MAGA Mike. I saw a clip of MAGA Mike. Oh my God, what a pathetic POS. Oh my God. What a pathetic POS. Honestly. Lying. All they're thinking about is how much more money to give to the billionaires. All they're thinking about is how can we take medicine away from people that need it? How can we take hospitals away from communities? How can we make people have no money and be homeless? How can we make children suffer? How can we make the American people as dumb and make information not accessible to them? How can we be as racist as possible? This is what they're doing. How can we be more and more cruel and more cruel and more fascist? How can we be more disgusting? How can we just stick it to everyone? How can we just kick them when they're down and then stick the knife in and twist it? How can we be as mean and cruel and sadistic as possible? That's what this big, beautiful effing bill is. They didn't have morals. They don't have hearts. We're going to read on if we're going to lose Medicaid and Medicare. A couple months ago, it looked like it was very protected. With the current energy and trajectory, are the American people going to lose Medicaid and Medicare? With the current energy trajectory, I'm getting a no. Yeah, I'm getting a no. I'm getting they won't be able to do it. All kinds of nasty things are in the big beautiful bill. Absolutely true. And mainly, oh yeah, it's abject evil. Okay, Warren, I'll comply with your request. I actually was thinking of both. Are they going to lose Medicaid? Are they going to lose Medicare? I could have said that. With the energy the way that it is now, it doesn't look like it. A lot of people rely for their lives, for their prescription drugs, on Medicaid and Medicare. And at the risk of getting you over the top pissed off, that's our money. I know we all know this, but we have to think about it once in a while. That money is our money. the money for FEMA to bail us out when natural disasters hit. And natural disasters are going to hit every single person here in the chat, you, me, everybody. Natural disasters will hit you. It's our money that we pay taxes to put into the government so that when we're in a crisis, we get helped. We're all in this together. They call it socialism like it's a bad thing. It's democracy. We all pitch in. We all put in to the pot. And then when somebody's having trouble, they get the help. Then when we're having trouble, we get the help. It's our fucking money. It belongs to us. So many times I've read on what they're doing, and the guides are just like, they are robbing the American people blind. Let's tell our friends and neighbors, because as far as I can see, there's a whole lot of people out there that have no freaking idea what's going on. And guess what? That's why we're going through this. That's why we're going through this as a nation. Does it make sense? It's beyond they don't care, Gloria. It's that they derive abject pleasure from inflicting cruelty on other human beings. They derive pleasure at looking down the look at Marga Mike. Just look at Marga Mike. He's got his glasses on and he's looking down his nose like. They get off on it. That is true. They get an adrenaline. They get an adrenaline rush out of it. They derive pleasure from it. Maga Mike. I'm going to read on Maga Mike. So sickening. I do feel the people rising up mad as hell. Okay, so I'm kind of like, yeah. So the question is about Maga Mike, and I see people getting very, very sick, even just from the stress of the potential of losing Medicaid and Medicare. The Empress indicate, I can't show you, she's naked, but the Empress represents the United States of America. The Wheel of Fortune is a turn of circumstances and events for Maga Mike, because he's gloating over the idea. And you heard him do this before. A couple, 2-3 months ago, he was given, it was before the election. So Maga Mike was in with a group of his cronies, and he was talking about gleefully. He was talking gleefully and giggling about how great it's going to be when they take away Obamacare. If it's any consolation, there is a hell. If it's any consolation, that's all they got. That's all they have is abject greed and horribleness. Be glad you're not them. We're up to 201 thumbs up. Thank you. We're going to do a group hug. Can't believe how fast the time is going today. Group hug. We're going to think about this nation, everybody in this nation rising up, all this horror show turning around, and Kamala Harris coming back and taking the rightful place in the White House. And let's hold Joe Biden in our group hug too. And all those who are struggling, and those who are afraid, and the people who have been deported, and the people that are... I saw a little clip of a kid who was crying and crying that they were going to take his dad away. Let's hold everybody in our group hug and lift each other up. 1, 2, 3. All right. That was a good hug. I don't remember what clip it was, but I saw a little video clip. And this will make you get out there This will make you get out there. I'll post it if I can find it again, and fight like hell, because I saw a video clip of a little an innocent Venezuelan family, and ICE was coming in, and there was a boy who was about 8 or 9 years old, and he was hysterically crying because he was afraid that they were taking his father away, and his father was trying to console him. And I don't know what ended up happening, but you know that these families are being terrorized. And I'm holding back the tears. As I think about that little boy. Because he's just a kid. And they're not committing any crimes or anything. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just living their lives, and they're in school, and they have friends, and they're just children. And these scary looking ICE people, Border Patrol, breaking in like that these people are criminals, and they're just members of the community. That suddenly are being singled out like they're criminals. If this doesn't make you drop everything. No, Trump doesn't give a shit. For us to even think that he would give a shit is totally naive on our part. We are a country of immigrants. We literally have that as our identity. Besides being a democracy, the Statue of Liberty was about, this is a country where everybody is welcome. We will include you. We help each other in this country, and we have to be subjected to that I just described to you. I can't even handle it. Count you in June 6th. Yes, 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 for sure. Michael Garrity, this is different. I disagree that ICE agents have always been fascist thugs. I can't say that word. This is different. This is what Hitler did. This is what Hitler did. I might not be a mother. I might not have my own children, but children have a very, 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 very big place in my heart. Amy's saying I need help to get to the June 6th protest. It's hard. So I really... Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful saying there. May all beings be free of suffering. I had Grassroots of Democracy for 2.5 years because I wanted us to have a place to meet, to really work hard to save our democracy. We did it for 2.5 years, and I dropped it eventually for lack of interest. That's when we thought Kamala Harris was on her way to winning. We have to come together in our communities and do everything that we can to stop this madness. Because if we think that it can't be stopped, we have lost. And why would we sit around thinking it can't be stopped? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Why would we say, oh, we're so powerless? No, that's not what we're made of. Cheryl keeps saying full moon. Why do you keep saying full moon? I don't understand. Is there a point? The full moon was you're confusing me. The full moon was last week. I was describing seeing a video clip of a terrified child, and ICE was in the house, and the father was trying to console him because they were threatening to take the father. Oh, yeah, maybe that's what Cheryl... Okay, I thought Cheryl was referencing the full moon. It's your handle. Okay. I get it now. I'm going to read some tea leaves. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's a very emotional time for all of us. We need some kind of a win. But the guide said earlier, there's a thread of light moving through us. That's okay, Full Moon Child. That was just like, why does Cheryl keep talking about the full moon? Because we had a powerful full moon last Monday. We're going to read some tea leaves. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe. And if you choose to join, you have access to my classes. The next class will be, there are videos that are set to members only. The next class is going to be, I think the next class that I'll do for members only, it'll be videos set to members only. I think it's going to be on how to be psychic. So you might want to join. It's not very expensive. There's a rainbow at the end. America will rise up. America is rising up. This administration is like, in a certain way, it's so extreme that we have to. If it wasn't as extreme, it would be like boiling the frog slowly, you know, the whole analogy. But it's so extreme that we have to rise up. Okay? Let's read some tea leaves. You guys help me read the tea leaves, okay? Tell me what you see. It is said that a wise man who stands firm is a statesman, and a foolish man who stands firm is a catastrophe. Admiral Rickover, I like that. We're rising up. Well, what we need to do is we need to activate, because the activism helps our distress. I just said that, Deborah Hills. It's going to be a class about how to be psychic, right? That's what I mean. I see a dinosaur. I do. I see a dinosaur. It's the first thing I saw. It looks like a T-Rex, right? Big dinosaur. Kind of a mirrored dinosaur. So that's, you know, big threatening dinosaur. That looks like another dinosaur. It looks like Jurassic Park in the cup tonight. So, yeah, that's interesting. I feel like this is representing countries, you know, like Russia fighting Ukraine. The new moon is going to be a big pivotal time too, which is next Monday. During the new moon, which is in Gemini, because we're going into the sign of Gemini. I feel like something's going to happen to Dumpy on that new moon in Gemini. That feels pivotal for something pretty big, major disassembling of him coming up. And we have right underneath Saturn, we're going to hear stories about children, and I think that's going to get people to go, okay, this is hard, but we're going to have to activate. And then this looks like, not really sure what that is. It looks like somebody skiing or something. What do you guys see? I wasn't seeing all the messages. Yeah, the GOPs are all dinosaurs. Yes, this is the dinosaurs, you know, like duking it out. Who wins, right? The good dinosaur wins. And this is issues around women. Oh, that feels like we're going to hear about women that are really suffering. So that's going to motivate too. And these feel like children. This is the, let me explain. Fascism hates women and children. That's why Putin went for the nurseries and the maternity wards. We will turn this around. It's going to take all of us, and it's going to take all of us never, ever taking our eye off our democracy ever again. Yeah, it was a couple of dinosaurs, right? So, hang in there. I'll be back tomorrow for Off the Ledge and a pop-up. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We don't have a PNN on Tuesday. But I'm here for you. We're here for each other. Don't forget that. It helps that we get together as much as we do. Please check out the show with Shelly from this afternoon. We need Thomas back for the dad jokes. I'm sure he'll pop up really soon. Okay. Keep the faith. Lots of love. Keep your spirits up because we're going to get through this. All right. Bye. Good night. Namaste.